Welcome to PlayStation Corner, my name is Alex and the PSN Spring Sale, it continues, so let's take a look at another batch of games that I would for sure recommend, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. So with that luck, hit subscribe and join us here on PlayStation Corner for reviews and deals weekly, and let's get started. Today's video then will be a whole host of AAA. Remember to check out my last deals video though, I've linked it in the pinned comment down below, and all the deals there, they are still live. Not a huge sale this one for new low prices, but many do return at least hitting that previous low price, and that tends to be the way with these big sales. They sound great, but normally it's more volume over better discounts. It's also worth knowing for those in the US, Gamestop currently have a buy two get one free promotion on right now, and there's some quality games in there. Think Elden Ring, Ratchet & Clank and Ghost of Tsushima. And yeah, so on from there for sure though. Head there, take a look, I'll link that as well in the pinned comment for you all. Samurai Warriors 5 then is a fantastic game. In fact, it blew past all of my expectations. The Warriors series, honestly, I can take or leave. I enjoy it for short bursts, but quickly get bored with its over-the-top action. But I gotta say, that's not the case here. They stripped it kind of back to the origins, simplified progression, and it had me hooked as I worked my way through often hundreds of enemies. The story though follows multiple characters, but you'll also unlock new fighters along the way. It's all of them packaged with these stunning, almost cel-shaded visuals. It's currently 35% off, matching the low price, and you're going to be getting a good 20 or so hours of story content here. You can get an idea of the gameplay though over on my Switch Corner review, but the graphics, they get a major boost naturally. In Sound of Mine then is going to be kind of for the horror fans, I guess. This is one that I'm not the biggest fan of horror experiences myself, but I'd describe this one as almost a thriller. As a channel, we received this on both the PlayStation and the Xbox. We decided to go with an Xbox review, so I'll be linking that in the pinned comment down below. The performance here though, it is identical from what we've seen. The gameplay in this one, a psychological horror. That's where it's not really jump scares, but you'll work your way through a number of memories of basically victims of a similar attack. It has boss fights that I thought were a little weak honestly, but generally it was a nice change of pace, and it's a new low price, 50% off. LA Noire now, and with GTA receiving its next gen patch, I wanted to talk to another Rockstar IP. Now this game, it's fantastic. Time of release, in fact, groundbreaking with some of its animations, but here you'll play a detective through the golden age of Hollywood. It dials back the combat, but it keeps the exploration you'd expect alongside investigation and interrogations. It's matching the low price then with 50% off, and I particularly enjoyed the depth of the characters here in the storytelling. You know, they're not perfect individuals, and that just makes it more realistic than most. It's matching the low price, 50% off. Mafia Definitive Edition then is for those that want something GTA-esque with an old school setting, but still a little bit more action-packed than most. I'm a huge fan of the Mafia games, so I even enjoyed the mostly disliked third entry, so it was great to see these back, and I really liked this upgrade. The second and the third upgrade I'd describe as a little more questionable. Earn your place though in this Mafia family as you follow a rags to riches story with a whole lot of course, violence along the way. Love the city though, and its only downfall, it's more story focused than let's say a GTA. There's not quite as much to do in this world, so maybe you won't explore quite as much. It's matching the low price though, 50% off. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 returns, and not going into detail here, it's Tony Hawk, classic games in this. It was an absolute return to form. It just feels good control wise, it looks fantastic, packs a huge amount of content, and then there's a good chunk of the original soundtrack in here as well. There's even 2 versions of this game you can buy. The pricing at the top of the screen you see, that includes the next gen upgrade. You'll take $5 off of that price if you want just the PS4 build. It matches the low then, 50% off. Super Mega Baseball 3 then is another one I'll keep quick. Sure, we got the new MLB entry, but this, do not underestimate it. I had perhaps more fun with this one than many of the recent MLB entries, not that I've played that new one that came out last week. And sure, look, it's got cartoony graphics, but do not let that deceive you. It's got a surprising amount of depth, a solid career mode, and yeah, it's good no matter your knowledge level with the sport. It's matching the low price then, 60% off. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, then I wasn't the biggest fan of this one honestly, but that said, you want a Smash clone on a console where there is no Smash, this will probably be a good place to go. My original experience on the Nintendo Switch, it kind of put me off excessive load screens and general performance issues, but that's definitely corrected over on the PlayStation. A large cast though and decent selection of levels from of course notable locations that will keep fans mostly happy. I think the biggest miss though, the lack of any voice acting. They might look like the characters you know and love, but they lack that kind of soul. It's matching the low price then, 60% off. Into the final 3 games then, starting with Resident Evil Village, and while I'm not the best at handling horror, as I've said, I've really enjoyed the recent reinvention of the Resident Evil series. It takes things darker, first person, and slows down the action's pace. This one though, it for sure starts to reintroduce it, but after your child is taken, you are now out on the hunt again in perhaps one of the creepiest villages out there. Tons of enemies though, and it can for sure be intense, some nice little environmental puzzles. This is basically Resident Evil, where sometimes the best option is in fact to run. You'll even then get a few returning fan favourite characters. It's matching the low price, 50% off. Our penultimate game of the video then, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This is absolutely worth adding to the library with 50% off. It matches the low without PS Plus. We had a sequel recently and that was decent too, but I don't think it quite captured, the magic of this one. But here we find ourselves in the role of Aloy exploring a world populated by deadly machines. Visually, it's still stunning to this day, and the music is top quality as well. This one though, it's an adventure all about figuring out your destiny. The complete edition then, it packs the base game, a whole host of outfits and packs, and then of course the sizable Frozen Wilds expansion. Our final game of the video then, Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's a pretty self-explanatory game, let's face it, but talk about a nice surprise. Really didn't have high expectations, but I really actually like the team behind it. They typically make more niche racing experiences, so it's great to see them getting such a high profile license, and gonna say here, they did not disappoint. Realistically, you could spend a small fortune in here on DLC thanks to the number of different licenses, but the racing is fast paced, it's got a really fun track editor, and yeah, if you like your Hot Wheels, or even if you just like kind of arcade racing, this is definitely gonna be worth a look. It's rocking a new low price then as well to make it even better, and that is 50% off. And with that, hit subscribe, join us here on PlayStation Corner for reviews and deals weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.